welcome to Who Watches Who, a Doctor Who podcast with me, Matthew, and as always, I am joined with...
Hello, it's Scott, and well.
Whoa, wait, what's that behind you? There's something behind you.
Oh no, we've never done that trope on Doctor Who before, looking at you, Donna Noble.
That honestly, I was thinking about that. I was like, maybe before it was revealed as the Midnight sequel, I was like, is there going to be like a beetle or something on her back? You know?
Yeah, Ringo Starr. What a twist! It's also a Devil's Cord sequel.
Yeah,
just Ringo Starr on her back.
That's, I'd be down for it. See what happens. Why not? But no, we are this week continuing our look into New Who, the current stuff. Episode 3 has just come out, The Well, and it is highly regarded.
Yeah, it's the highest rated episode on IMDb since The Doctor Falls from 2017. Yeah. So yeah,
which we've also
loves
covered,
it, apart from JXE and some other people.
Sure, it's, impossible to please everybody, I suppose. And this isn't a flawless episode. I definitely think The Doctor Falls is better than this. But this was a good time. I don't think it's the best episode since The Doctor Falls. I think there has been better episodes than this since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just the median, average ratings boiled down,
For me, I would say this is the best episode since Wild Blue Yonder. Not that there hasn't been good episodes since, but this is the best since that episode.
For me, nothing stops. Boom. Boom is still number one for me. I just fucking adore that episode. I've seen it maybe 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
I think it's superb.
Another episode where the main companion gets shot at and then...
Shot? Yes.
Yes, and then has to...
And also episode 3.
Yep, and he has to go for the defibrillator machine also. What is happening?
Yeah.
Why are we just going through the same tropes again?
And also in Boom, it's all primarily in one location, like this one is. And has characters that can't move, as in the Doctor. In this case, it's Alice.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting, weird parallels. But yeah, I thought this was solid. I thought this was really solid. There's some weird bits. So how does the Doctor get the same uniform as all these guys?
Magic.
Before he goes out into the ship.
We can choose
spacesuits on. They step out, and it just so happens to be the right spacesuit that has the jetpacks and everything in it.
We can just presume that the TARDIS is telepathically giving the Doctor these outfits, just materializing out of nowhere, I presume. But you need a bit of a line of dialogue to explain, hey, the TARDIS is going to give us a perfect outfit for where we need to go. Don't have to worry about it.
Sure.
I think we are to presume it's magic. When we teleport to the upper floor, are we to presume that this is real time?
I always just assumed. No, I always assumed it's like a time cut, and we're just experiencing editing. I didn't think that bit was canon.
I'm going to presume it's canon. It's more fun that way.
It is more fun that way. It's wilder it's more insane that way. But.
It's also insane. The perfect outfit. And also, when they step out of the TARDIS, there just happens to be 2 extra helmets.
2 spare helmets. Yeah. But yeah, it's fine. It's like a tiny nitpick to get. What I really liked is we were talking last week in Lux how the cold open was 5 minutes long, and almost had nothing to do with the Doctor at all. It's just the setup to the villain and kind of reveals too much. This one, you open in the TARDIS, you continue. The Doctor steps out straight into the episode, into the action, into the chaos of it all, and you follow him throughout the entire time.
I did panic a little bit with the opening scene, with the Doctor trying to go back to 2025 yet again, bouncing off of it. Why are we doing this? 3rd week in a row.
Just in case you missed it and the other ones, and you need to know again.
And also, Belinda also mentions her dad singing second week in a row for no reason in this TARDIS scene. Why? My question for you
It's
is...
going to be in the final.
Is her dad going to pop up in the Interstellar Song Contest? If we're mentioning his singing 2 weeks in a row, it feels like it's some kind of foreshadowing.
That could be. I didn't even consider that. That could absolutely be that. I was just thinking that because the Doctor said he was going to sing to their parents and stuff, that there's going to be a fun bit at the end when she gets home and everything's okay. He has a party and the dad and the Doctor sing together. But it would make sense for the Interstellar Song Contest.
I hope they sing the Goblin song. Just to piss
I hope
you
they
off.
don't.
Speaking of the Goblin song, by
don't.
the way, the actress who plays Janice Goblin, who sings the Goblin song, is going to be in the Interstellar Song Contest. So hopefully she gets a better song this time.
Yeah. I wonder if she's playing the same character.
Hopefully not.
But so vibes were popping off the chart in this episode, and I think we would be amiss to mention it is a sequel. All the leaks were correct. This is a sequel episode to the David Tennant, because we don't have enough David Tennant in Doctor Who. I think we don't dip into that era enough. It's a really untapped source of inspiration for Doctor Who, I think.
I was just waiting. I was thinking it's been a whole 5 minutes since we last referenced David Tennant. We're about due for a David Tennant reference.
Yeah. Was it last week that we had one?
And the week before. 2 Blink references in a row.
Oh my god, yeah.
We just can't escape Tennant.
He is the best and the worst thing to ever happen to Doctor Who. But
like,
so this is an
not even
sequel.
Tom Baker is referenced this amount of times. You know, the Tom Baker era. Like, it's been a whole season since Boom is essentially a whole Tom Baker reference episode.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, we've mentioned David Tennant way more. It's insane.
Just give me a Matt Smith reference. Give me a Capaldi reference. Give me a Jodie reference. Give me somebody. You know?
We did get a Matt Smith reference last week when we randomly played the Amy Pond theme. And this week we got a Christopher Eccleston reference when we randomly play the Ninth Doctor theme. Weird.
Yeah, I think it's just easier than to come up with new themes. Just play the ones that you've already done.
I'm starting to think maybe we do need like 2 composers. Maybe we take turns around, because Murray Gold, I love the man, but why are we dipping into these classic songs again?
I haven't really been like, I don't think there's been a song really in this past few seasons of Murray Gold returning where I've been like, oh damn, what a banger from Murray Gold. I'm so glad he's back. You know? Like, it's just kind of been either forgettable or rehashes of the old. It reminds me of they got John Williams for episode 9 in Star Wars, and they were like, the soundtrack he's made is amazing, it's his best work ever, it's incredible. And then it's possibly the most forgettable Star Wars soundtrack of all time. Like, it's just like, okay, there's nothing else he can do. He's tapped this well. Get some new people into it, you know.
And also,
tap the well. Tap this well.
Got you. And also, speaking of reused music, we have "Toxic" by Britney Spears as they're exiting the TARDIS, which was also in The End of the World. Why are we replaying the same song again?
It's such a weird editing choice as well. Like, it just comes on. And I'm like, okay, but this is, I guess Britney Spears is playing now? Okay. But it's fine. It's whatever. I think this is possibly one of Ncuti's best episodes.
Yes.
As the Doctor.
It certainly is,
in feeling as the Doctor, you know? And would definitely be one I would recommend to people to be like, hey, you want to see Ncuti as the Doctor, you're not convinced, I would be Boom, I would be this one.
Yeah.
You know, which are 2 very similar episodes in similar places on the season, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
But Midnight. So this is a sequel to Midnight. The David Tennant episode where they're on a train and there's a creepy lady possessed by an alien of some kind copying everybody. It's a very simple episode. It's a very contained episode, and it's a really, really good episode. It's fucking phenomenally good. And I think probably one of the better horror episodes from Modern Who in general. I remember this episode scaring the shit out of me as a kid when I first saw it.
And it's amazing how simple Midnight is as a concept. We don't see any aliens, really. It's just them on a bus for most of it. And it is tense as fuck. And we are going to cover the episode in July, hopefully. So, yeah, subscribe, listen to our thoughts when we get to Midnight in July. We're also going to be doing The Idiot's Lantern. We're going to try to do like a season 2 victory lap of episodes, and 2 of them so far are David Tennant's. So
yeah, I feel like it's going to be a lot of David Tennant. But it was, so we both rewatched Midnight and then rewatched this episode as well, so kind of did them back to back since this is a sequel. And I think they both kind of complement each other. It's really difficult doing a sequel episode so long after, because it's so easy to mess it up or like fuck with it in a certain way. And in this one, the monster is different in that it's just behind somebody. It's not like possessing them. But I think it was an interesting enough change to credit a sequel idea to it, you know? Even if it is a slightly flawed idea, as I said to you when I finished watching the episode, if you've got the monster behind you, why don't you just lie down?
Yeah.
Because if you lie down, no one's gonna be behind you.
Question: if you lie down and somebody's on a lower floor and they're standing directly below where you're lying down, do they get attacked? Does it work through like floors and ceilings?
I don't know, because it doesn't seem to work through walls. You know, I mean, it doesn't really seem to. It kind of picks and chooses when it wants to work. There's some weird blocking with this episode, because I feel like the concept of the thing being directly behind the person kind of pushes them into a corner at times. Like the action sequence in this episode, when the guy runs the coup and he's going around and the deaf lady Alice is following him, and then she just keeps following him, and so all the other people start, and it's like, stop moving. Why are you still moving? Everyone's getting killed around you. Stop moving. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know?
Yeah, that is something that confused the hell out of me. I think for the most part, they're very careful with it, but there's one point, as you pointed out to me before we started recording, there's one point where she does completely turn her back to the people, and it's like, it's a bit...
She's like, look, there's nothing behind me, and does a full, like, 180 turn. Which, it's not a mistake you notice when you first watch it, because you don't know of the monster's abilities yet, but on a rewatch, you're like, whoa, hang on, that's just the entire concept of the episode there.
This episode is reverse engineered in a lot of different ways. The script was originally intended to feature the Orishas, a Nigerian spirit, as a primary antagonist instead, but it was later converted into a sequel to Midnight. And I think you can kind of tell by the fact that it's kind of like a 10 Cloverfield Lane kind of effect going on here. It's still good, but you can kind of tell it's reverse engineered to be a Midnight sequel. I'm completely fine with it being a Midnight sequel. I like that it's different, but it's obvious.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it works better as a sequel than as just a standalone thing. Like, as a standalone thing, it's pretty solid, but it's just another horror thing. Tying it into Midnight, which is already revered, kind of gives it that, like, an extra bit of interest to it, because it's a returning thing. You know, this really... And you've got now this incredible monster that you've left the door open at the end to come back again. Of this, it's straight up just a monster. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know anything about it. It's just scary as fuck. Which is great.
Fingers crossed they don't rush into the sequel. If it comes naturally to them, I'm fine with it. But
I hope it doesn't become the Weeping Angels.
No. This episode is good enough where, it keeps the entity in the shadows, which is fucking fantastic. You don't get a proper glimpse at the entity, and it's fucking tense as fuck because of it. And there's a hesitation, because if you do a sequel, you want to see more, perhaps, is what Russell T Davies would think. Hopefully not.
Well, You do, I guess, technically speaking, you do see more in
Yeah,
that you see
yeah.
a shadow and you see like a goopy thing kind of crawling out of the edge. So you've seen more, but you've still not seen it, which
Yeah.
is a good bit. You know, it's in the neck. It's like in, again, with the angels, when you see the angels move.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that. I don't want to see an angel move, you know? I want to keep it static, scary, statue. But we get some fun stuff with Belinda in this. I think she's a pretty solid companion.
She fucking remembers she's a nurse. She immediately goes up to a dead body and checks on the dead body, thinking, hey, maybe it's still alive. She remembers she's a nurse. That's incredible.
She does. What a talent. What a talent. Remembering your job that you're trying to do. That's so good. And I think I'm liking her as a companion. And I think I don't know if I like her more than Ruby yet. I still don't know how I fully feel about Ruby since that finale, you know, because she's good and she's got great chemistry with the Doctor, but it's basically just run pure on chemistry. There's not much else depth there, whereas I'm into the Doctor Belinda relationship, this sort of, you know, slow coming around to getting excited about the adventures and stuff, and not 100% being on board with the Doctor. And
yeah,
it's interesting.
I love a bit at the start of the episode where Shudigat was about to leave a TARDIS, just about to set up the Vindicator machine, and she's like, shouldn't we get changed? And then she's in for the adventure. That's a great little detail. I think I do like her. I just need a little bit more. You know what I mean? And the sad thing is, we only have 3 more stories with Belinda potentially, which we're halfway through a series pretty much with Belinda. How
That's
sad.
Yeah, just insane. But you know, there's still plenty they can fit in a lot of character stuff. What I'm liking in these past 2 episodes, the pacing has allowed people to breathe. It's allowed characters to talk, and it's allowed moments to hit and sit. And it's not just been go, 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 crazy banana stuff. You know, there's been some actual character stuff, some good pacing. It feels like a TV show.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like a TikTok clip, you know?
Yeah, this one feels like the least engineered episodes to be on TikTok and Twitter and all that. Like, I had a friend literally the other day, first time I've heard of her talk about Doctor Who, and she sends me a video of Lux, and I'm like, yeah, this is designed to be clippable. You know, it's Lux coming out of the cinema screen, and it is very much.
It's to get people to be like, whoa, this looks crazy. What's this from? Doctor Who? Wow.
So the Earth has been destroyed for God knows how long at this point, and nobody knows what Earth is, but British Sign Language still exists. Incredible.
Long live Britannia.
Presumably the TARDIS does translate sign language, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know how... Because it makes sense auditorily how it would translate, but... Although I suppose it can do some sort of psychic thing to
fucking perception filter, you know, like
yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, so fuck it. The TARDIS did it.
Sign language is a language. You can stretch the rules a little bit.
Sure, it doesn't matter, does it? But no, I enjoyed it. I thought there's not a character I disliked. There was. The soldiers, I think, are maybe a bit generic.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's too many soldiers, and they all basically fill the same kind of stereotype. You know, whereas in Midnight, it's a bunch of random people from all different kind of walks of life, and here it's just everybody doing the same job, same kind of arguments. It's the paranoia in this episode doesn't feel as good as the paranoia in Midnight. You know, when they're trying to fucking murder the Doctor, that's some tense shit.
Yeah, I think the paranoia build-up in Midnight works. I think it works more because of the way the monster works in that, you know? Like, the paranoia could build up better in this if the monster was, you didn't know who it was behind.
Yeah.
And you started doing a sort of, and you get that briefly at the end of the episode when they're about to go on the ship and then they suddenly can't and they're all facing each other and it's like, who's got the fucking monster? And if that was to happen with all the soldiers with all their guns and all these hotheads, that could lead into something and possibly lead into an action sequence that makes more sense if they start shooting at each other rather than just standing there being like, whoa, wait, hang on, she's turning.
They really did go with that sequence where everybody's getting flung around for a bit too long, I think.
Oh, yeah, it goes, like, for the first couple, you can kind of get away with it, but it starts going on so long, you start questioning the logic of the scene.
Yeah.
Where you're like, why is no one moving? Why is everyone standing still? Why is she still moving? Like, she's not moving quickly, so why isn't everyone else just move around with her? And
also, like, the explanation of what is going on takes, like, a solid 2 minutes. Belinda even has time to get out, like, little, like, chess pieces to set up a diagram of what's going on the floor. Like,
yeah,
it's too much time. It's simple to follow. If you're behind a person, you get flung. It's I don't think it needs to be explained this much.
Yeah, I did see a thing on Reddit that I quite liked. I don't remember the full description, but it was basically talking about the way that the monster was killing people. Sorry, excuse me, and how that's like how it was killed in Midnight. It gets flung out of the airlock.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's flinging people the same way that it got flung, which I thought was a cute detail, if on purpose,
It's taken a lot of willpower not to make an Among Us reference in this episode. I just want to mention Among Us, the hit game that everybody still plays.
It's fun. It's I think it's more popular than you'd expect, probably.
I mean,
still.
I haven't played it since the day the Queen died, so I don't want to kill the king.
I also haven't played it since then. I kind of do.
Who plays Among Us when?
But yeah, it was pretty solid. Shooty's crying in this episode is possibly one of the few times it feels earned. It feels justified and it feels earned.
It's 100% my note. I would say there's like 3 or 4 justifiable cries before this episode, but when Shutigatwa cries every single episode, him crying in this moment feels less impactful. Like,
yes, I agree.
Because it's like you're just watching him cry, and it's like, oh, I saw you do this last week. 7 days
and the
ago.
week before that, and the week before that, the time before that, But yeah, I agree. It would be way more impactful, especially because he's doing such a good job selling how scared he is.
Yes.
And also how it's such a weird mix of emotions because he's hearing the monster say his name, which is terrifying, but also it's the first time he's heard someone say his name in how many years since River?
True,
it's this sort of like, oh my god, that's my name sort of thing, and all these emotions you see run across his face, and it's a fantastic little performance, and you see like a little shadow come up on Alice's shoulder as well when the monster's there. It's a very good scene.
I just love the Doctor being traumatized by this creature. He still can't figure out, like, on the second journey with this creature. It's great stuff. Like at the end of Midnight, where he's absolutely traumatized by the idea of Donna even repeating what he says, is great.
Yeah,
I fucking love that beat. I forgot about that beat.
Yeah, it's again, it's what I like about this monster. It's just straight up a monster. It's so scary that even the Doctor is scared of it, and the Doctor hasn't been able to beat it twice. He just gets away. You
don't know what its motives are, other than it likes to play games. And when Shurigatwa said that, I'm like, oh fuck no, please don't be another fucking Pantheon. Which it was originally going to be a Pantheon, so it got rewritten to this Midnight creature. So I'm glad it's a Midnight creature and not another Pantheon. Because
same, we just had a Pantheon.
Yeah,
I'm sick of them every time they show up. I'm like, I don't like you guys, but. 2 back-to-back is too much.
Rose Aileen Ellis, very fucking good in this episode. She was fantastic.
Yep.
Very believable, I've seen obviously there's some scumbags on the internet making fun of her, but she gives a fucking great performance. Fuck them.
Yeah. There's people on, I'm guessing, Twitter talking bad.
I mean, I saw a screenshot of somebody saying they didn't like her, the way she spoke on Twitter, and it's like, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean,
Fucking
I don't expect
garbage
anything
piece of
less
shit.
from Twitter.
Honestly.
You know? Yeah, it's just ignorance, you know?
Yes.
Just dumb ignorance.
But
I thought she was good.
But yeah, she was originally going to be in a different character completely, but Russell T Davies made deaf when Andy Pryor, the casting director, said, "Hey, she's perfect for this role," and so her character also got reverse engineered, which I think is why Russell T Davies is the co-writer of this episode, because it's somebody else.
Because it's changed so much.
Yeah. The other writer is Sharma Angel Walfall. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, she also co-wrote the episode. She doesn't even have a clickable name on Wikipedia, so I think she's very brand new to writing television, so which is good, you know. I'm glad to see Russell T Davies getting in new writers. It's great.
Yeah, no, I agree. New writers are where it is at and where it should be. As what we want in Doctor Who is fresh blood, please, even if you do have to completely change their script and do something else entirely. But I thought it was good. I liked the vibes of the place. Yes. The mining facility that they're in. It felt very Alien.
Yeah.
Like the movie Alien. Like, it's very physical. It's lots of weird boxes around, dead people everywhere, smashed mirrors. Like, it's your classic sci-fi horror, and I'm all about that shit. I was loving every bit of it.
It just needs a bit of steam, you know. A little bit of
pipe
steam.
burst. Just a pipe blowing steam out. Yeah.
It has.
I also wish
the Mercury at the end reminded me of Terminator, of course.
Oh yes. I wish it was maybe a little darker.
Yeah.
Everything is a bit too well lit. I think if it was a bit darker and grimier looking, that was something in Midnight compared to this one that I really noticed on, is the lighting in Midnight is much. I mean, it helps that it's shot in 720p, but it's much grimier and dark looking. Whereas this, everything is like big and bright and lit up well, you know.
Midnight does a fantastic job with fucking shadows. It is shadowy as fuck, and you see the silhouette of David Tennant and everybody else on the walls, and it looks fucking fantastic. Like, such a small set as well, way smaller than this set, in this main room as well. Like, it feels more claustrophobic as well. I think you needed this episode to be a bit more claustrophobic to really get your whatever going.
No, I agree. I just can't stop thinking now how much more interesting it might have been if the monster did jump into other people. But,
I mean, it does jump into the window. It does.
Yeah, right at the end. But you could have built an episode around that and built that paranoia in again of not knowing who it's in, and everyone has to keep their back against the wall and they're like, fuck you. But hey, that's for the third episode, the third in the series of sequels, I guess. The next one that I'll write when I'm showrunner.
Another Mrs. Flood cameo.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
This was I was about to say, this is probably the most obvious. They've all been insanely obvious. This is the best one, where she doesn't look at the camera and go, "Ooh, aren't I spooky?
Yeah,
What's going on this week?" Like, she's just a character in the world, being like, yes, this is going exactly how I thought. It's still a bit too cheesy and really on the nose, and so similar to Susan Twist.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, I have to keep remembering they're different people.
Yes.
Because I want them to be the same person, because it's the exact same fucking setup as they did with Susan Twist. Like, it's insane.
And yet again, we're not given any kind of hints to who she is, making this mystery just fall completely flat. There's no hints about what she's up to, who she is, what her end goal is.
She knows the
Nothing's
Vindicator.
happening.
She knows what a Vindicator is. Yeah.
I'm fed up with his fucking storyline. It's easily the worst mystery box that's been set up in the last 20 years of a show, I would reckon, right?
For sure. We'll see what the payoff is. Like, if the payoff is good, then you can forgive all of this weird setup. But yeah, I'm not invested in the setup at all.
No, yeah, maybe it is kind of like an inverse of the Susan Twist reveal, where, you know, where we were intrigued to begin with Susan Twist, and then it turns into a shit show. This is a shit show, and maybe it turns into something intriguing.
Maybe it'll turn something good. Yeah, exactly. Figure it out in the second time round. It is bizarre that there's two weird old women that keep showing up everywhere in two separate seasons of Doctor Who.
I mean, you know, Mrs. Flood is also in the same season as Susan Twist.
I know. That's why I get them confused. You know, it's...
And I think Susan Twist is set for a comeback at some point, so we're really looking forward to that. I hope Susan Twist and Mrs. Flood meet and they kiss. That's my hope.
Oh, wow. That sounds like something you'd like. The only question I've got is the Doctor Who behind the scenes show still even a thing?
It is, but I have not watched it.
I haven't seen any marketing for it at all.
No.
Like, not even a little bit. Like, I've hardly seen any marketing for this season of Doctor Who. Let alone the other fucking behind-the-scenes episodes.
I'll never forget, the marketing for Unleashed was really shitty to begin with, because it happened at the start of Doctor Who. So I'm watching... What was the first episode? The Star Beast. I'm watching the Star Beast, and before the Star Beast even plays, I get the trailer for Unleashed, which shows David Tennant running around on the brand new TARDIS set, and I'm like, well, that reveal just got spoiled for me. Like, what the... There's no trailers this season. It's very bizarre, and I've been hearing people watching it and saying, it's really weird that this episode just goes around asking crew members if they believe in supernatural stuff. So that's apparently what's going on Unleashed, which... No.
I just want a detailed behind the scenes. This is the production of this episode. This is how we designed it. This is the script writing. Here's the set, you know, and here's what it would like. It doesn't need to be that complicated. We don't need a host hosting it, being all wacky and whatever.
They don't even interview the woman who wrote the episode. It's just Russell T Davies on his fucking chair. So, bizarre. But yeah, Confidential was alright at giving behind-the-scenes details. Like, if Confidential didn't exist, you and I would not have met, probably. You know? That's how Confidential made us meet. So, yeah.
Yeah, but
Anything
it was a
else?
solid episode of Doctor Who. Not really, I enjoyed it a lot. Next week's episode, I reckon, is gonna be shit.
What
I
is
think
the
it'll be
premise
fine.
for next week's episode? It kind of feels like a kind of similar concept with a monster behind the guy that Ruby is dating, right?
Something like that. He's like getting hunted or something. It seems like it's almost a sequel to 73 Yards. Where it's talking about Ruby dating people and stuff, because they did that whole big long sequence in that episode, remember? The
monster next week is called the Shriek, and every time I read the name Shriek, I take out an E and just read Shrek. Shrek. Yeah. That's the thumbnail for next week's episode, just Shrek in the middle.
The Shrek. Yeah.
But yeah, we forgot to do our rankings last week. The brand new segment of the show where we rank the season so far. So far this season, I would go episode 1 is the worst, episode 2 second best, episode 3 the best.
Yep, I would do the same. 3, 2, 1. 3 is the best, 2 is the middle, 1 is the worst. It's not even, don't even have to think about it that hard. So far, it's exactly the same as season 1. So we'll see how that goes from here on out.
But yeah,
I'm
you
enjoying
know,
it so far.
They realize the Earth is destroyed in 2025, and they don't
Mhm.
think, hey, let's just go back to like May. What date is it? 23rd, 24th? Let's go back and just watch the Earth at a safe distance and just watch what happens to it. No?
Can't do it. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. I guess it's the problem with time travel in general is it's sometimes it's a bit too overpowered as far as abilities go, and you have to write rules for it,
Yeah.
even if the rules
Yeah.
themselves don't make sense, because time travel doesn't make sense.
And then also, I don't like how they gave out the information to Belinda and the Doctor at exactly the same time that the Earth is destroyed or the Earth doesn't exist anymore. That's a really bizarre way of doing it.
I wouldn't have minded it if it was edited slightly better, because if you intercut it, so they're both having the same conversation with two different people, and they're getting the information, and then we're cutting around, make it more dynamic. We get the Doctor gets given it, and then we cut, and Belinda gets given it. Merge those scenes together. Just cut them in together. Way better.
The Doctor gets the information, Belinda gets the information, and then she sees the shadow, and then she gets more information about Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like it's spread out across like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm not even joking. It's spread out way too far. It's just give a Doctor the information, and then maybe the end of the episode, the Doctor is like, I don't know whether or not to relay this information to Belinda because she's gonna fucking freak out if I give this information to her. But if I keep it a secret, then it's gonna make things worse between us. I have to be honest, etc. Give us something interesting with this information. To be honest, I don't give a shit if the Earth is destroyed. I'm sorry. Fucking
It's always
kill us all.
destroyed. The Earth is always destroyed. One of the things I liked in this episode that I forgot to mention, there's conflict. Characters who yell at each other, and they're mean to the Doctor, and it's nice, it's good. It's like, oh my god, there's drama, there's anger, there's emotion, other than, oh, you're the best. Oh
But you know, watching Midnight directly before this episode, you realize more conflict in Midnight, more interesting.
Oh my god, yeah,
at least.
there's a lot of conflict in Midnight. Everyone's yelling at each other all the time.
Oh, God.
But yeah, no, it's solid. It's hard to talk about an episode when you just like, I liked it. It was good. I liked everything in it. It was a solid time.
Yeah, this is.
I think
I would
most
say
of
this
it.
is a solid 9 out of 10 episode, maybe an 8.5 out of 10 episode. Whereas Midnight's like a 10 out of 10.
I think I'm closer to an 8. 7.5 for the Well, and maybe 8.5, 9 for Midnight.
Okay. See, I'm more
I
positive this
enjoyed
week.
them. Yeah. We like different things in Doctor Who. But no, they're still really good. I still really enjoyed them.
Hopefully,
For sure.
we don't get another like last season. The first 2 episodes were a bit hit and miss, and then the 3rd episode was really good, and we had like. Actually, episode 4 was a bit shit. So hopefully we don't get episode 4 being a bit shit next week. Hopefully it sticks the landing next week, because that was the issue with 73 yards. Fingers crossed it sticks the landing. Please. I want a decent season, please.
Yeah. So far, it's shaping up to be a pretty okay season.
Yeah.
Like it's shaping up to be pretty solid. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, which we'll find out pretty soon next week. The next episode may probably will see a huge format change in this podcast. Ooh. So make sure you're subscribed. make sure you're subscribed here at Who Watches Who, Doctor Who podcast on YouTube. We are a ballsack's hair away from 100 subscribers. We're so goddamn close to 100. We're maybe even at 100 by the time this is out. Who knows? So subscribe, get us over that mark, and we're going to keep on going. There's going to be a huge change to the show next episode. So fucking strap onto your fucking chairs for that one.
Get your strap-ons on.
Get them on, and we will see you then for that. Thank you very, very much for listening. Unless you had anything else to say, Scott. I'm pretty
No,
much done,
not at
I
all.
think.
I'm just imagining people not subscribing to us after you mentioned ballsack, but hey.
I'd make me subscribe twice. I'd hit the subscribe button twice. Make sure you press the subscribe button twice.
And also ring that bell as well, because we're a bit
yeah.
unreliable with uploads at the moment, because obviously it's a new season.
No, we're not.
We're just trying to... But hey, subscribe, ring that bell, like the video, leave a comment. Tell me I'm your favorite co-host.
Tell me your deepest, darkest secrets.
Tell me your social security number.
And yeah, we will see you for the next episode. Until then,
Bye-bye.
bye.